Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'd like to talk about work and how we can use work to help our cultivation practice. So when I mean work, it doesn't matter actually what work you do. So the work could be unpaid, paid, you could be a volunteer, you could be an employee of a company, you could be simply working in the house, keeping it clean, doing the housework, so to speak, or working on your garden and making your home a pleasant place to be. It doesn't matter what the nature of the work is, we can still use it to practice cultivation and make our mind and body a pleasant place to be also. The reason I'm doing a video on this is because I recently had a year off work and I delved into my cultivation practice. So I did a lot of meditation, a lot of kung fu practice and whatnot. And I knew that I would have to return to work. And I needed to think about how I can use work to my advantage. So what I came up with was, first of all, I had to do the work with an attitude of complete and utter acceptance. So previously for me, as I'm sure is the case with many people, we don't quite accept the fact that we need to work, not 100%. So we wake up in the morning and we just don't want to go into the office. We're driving to work in our car and we just don't want to walk through those factory doors. Or whatever the work is that you do, there's something in the back of your mind that isn't accepting that you've got to go and do it. And if those thoughts enter your head, it is the furthest away from acceptance you could possibly get. It's not accepting, it's the opposite. It's fighting against it. So we need to fully accept the fact that we are going to do the work that we need to do. And acceptance is a really important tool. It's a really important concept. So we can use work to practice acceptance. Another thing that we can practice is if we do have a cultivation practice and we are, whether it be a kung fu practice or a meditation practice, we can use work to enhance that, even though it's difficult. So if our practice requires our bodies, for example, to be in a state of openness and release, then we can practice that while we're at work. When we're sitting in our chair, if we have a sit-down job, we can be upright through the spine and we can sit with the muscles releasing, the openness in the body, and we can stay like that for as long as we possibly can. We can do the same with a manual job as well, because kung fu work, yoga, tai chi, qigong, whatever, is physical, and we're transforming our bodies from being one way into being a different way. So there's no reason why we can't use work, even if it's physical work, to enhance the qualities of openness and release within our bodies. But whatever state your practice requires of you, you can do that whilst at work. It's what I call the hidden training. Nobody needs to know you're doing it. Nobody can tell that you're doing it, but you're just using work to practice your cultivation. And if you spend 8-9 hours a day at work and you're in a state of openness and release, it will definitely transform who you are and the way you move. If you don't have a formal practice and you simply practice something like present moment awareness or the idea of presence, that's fine. But when you are doing your work, whatever that work is, do it with the utmost of focus and limit distraction. So when you are doing whatever task it is that you're doing, you give it your fullest attention all day long. If you're a meditator and you practice meditation, you can use the work to keep some mindfulness on your meditation object, whether it be the breath, whether it be a sensation in the body. Keep some mindfulness on your meditation object all day long. That way, when you come to meditate, it will be easier to absorb into the meditation object. And then the final thing, there is more I could say about work, but the one thing I did want to talk about is service. So many of us go to work not just for ourselves, but for other people as well. So we go to work and earn money, not just for you, but also for your family. Maybe a partner, maybe children. So we are there for them as much as we are there for ourselves. I think most people recognise this. But if you're not there for anybody else and you are there, just there for yourself to earn your money to survive, pay your bills, that's fine too. But while you're at work, there's still an opportunity to practice service. And I'm not really talking about the type of service that your employers expect you to provide, that's part of your job. Something like customer service, which is all well and good. I'm talking about a cultivation practice where you help as many people as you can whilst you are there. So there's an attitude of service and helpfulness. So it doesn't matter what the request is, whether it's from somebody in your department or you see somebody struggling and you offer to help, whether it is somebody external and you help them. The idea of help, being helpful, being of service, is also an important part of cultivational practice. And I will probably do a separate video on service itself. So all of this is part of making our mind and body a pleasant place to be. So we don't get caught up or restricted by subtle guilt. So when we do practice present moment awareness or meditation or whatever it is, we can do so fully and we can enter that calm, abiding state without wanting to run away from ourselves and run to distraction, because our minds and bodies are a shitty place to be. We're trying to make our minds and bodies a pleasant place to be. So when you're at work, whatever the work is, you are in your state. You are in an open, calm, released, accepting state of body and mind. The reason why work is such a good place to practice this is because it's difficult to do while you're at work, because often the environment isn't designed to allow you to be in that state. In fact, it's quite the opposite. So if you can do it at work, you can do it anywhere. If you can do it in difficult circumstances, you can do it anywhere. So just to recap, there is acceptance of the fact that the work or the tasks that we do, and we 100% fully accept it. We can use work to maintain our awareness of either the present moment or our meditation object, or just achieve a single pointed focus when we're doing our work. And there is service to others, being of use to others, being of help to others, which creates a calm abiding within us. We make our mind and bodies a pleasant place to be as a result. As always, it's extremely difficult, extremely challenging. The work of a cultivator is never easy, but keep going. Don't give up. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.